Hey folks, Kerry here. It's the third and final installment of restringing this instrument for a lefty player. In the first installment, I drilled holes for the side dots, and then the second installment, I installed the side dots. And now we're actually going to string it up. So what I've done already is I have already pre-cut a nut, a new nut for the right width and radius the top, as well as I've marked with a pencil the string spacing. So I'm going to file for a lefty, and I happen to do it left-handed because I'm lefty. I play righty, but I work with tools left-handed. So my instrument's faced this way, and I file this way. And maybe you've seen Gordon or Aaron do it right-handed, but this is the way I do it. One thing that's different though is that the tuners are already installed. So I have a little less room to work with on the filing operation. And what I'm also going to do is take a little piece of tape, because I always get nervous about hitting the headstock with the file. So I'm going to lay a little bit of tape down there just as protection. And so really the only difference in this between the operation that you may have seen in the Birth of a Miami series is that I have the tuners to deal with. So I start with the easement file, and I'm just going to work in the G string here, which is this one, and get a little bit going for me to get this going. And this customer would like a wound, not a wound, a fluorocarbon low G, which is our widest gauge string. So it's got a special file just for that one. If I tried to file it with one of the thinner ones, the string would not sit down in the nut slot properly. So I get that one. I also get my fewer gauge so that I can try to bring it down to the right level initially. I don't want to go too far. I'll go a little bit less so that I can work it down if I need to. So get this guy going. Check. A little more. I just have to take shorter strokes because I got those tuners I'm dealing with. So I'm filing at an angle. Constantly checking my away the extra dust. A little bit more. All right, that's about as much as I want to go for now. And I will string it up with the G string to start with, and check the action. Now I'm going to string it up this way because this is a lefty player. I like the tags at the bottom of the bridge to all of the strings, the tags of the strings to all kind of face downwards away from the player. So for a lefty player, tags would be facing this way. And the way I tie, I would need the instrument in this direction to get the tag to end up that way. So there you go. And start with the low G fluorocarbon, and it is a thick string, so sometimes it has a little trouble getting into these tiny holes. And if I have any issue getting it in there, what I do, and this one is a bit, is I take this guy, I cut it at an angle, kind of an angle to let it, give it a bit of a point so it can guide its way in. Just got a bit of a point there. All right, that one in. And I'm very careful on the other end because that's a sharp point, and I don't want that hitting my finished top. So, give it a wrap, 2 wraps. Again, try to be very careful down here as I tighten it. I'll just hold it right against the bottom of the bridge. Pull the string tight. I don't need this tape anymore. Slot. Cut the other end. And again, trying to be very careful about scratching potentially the headstock with these sharp tags at the end of the string. Get down. Okay, so that is sitting in the nut slot. I can feel right now it's probably a little high. I'm going to file that down a bit more. I can tell just from feeling at the first fret. It's just, I can tell from the feel right there. But I will measure it, I'll check for buzzing, and do the rest of the strings the same way as you'd set up an instrument from the start. That's it for restringing for Lefty, and I'll see you again shortly. Bye.